Hi everyone, my name is Nyarko, and today I will be presenting Therapy2Go, a service design approach to digital mental health, accessibility, and mental health support anytime, anywhere. All right, let's dive into the reason of why I created Therapy2Go. There was a problem, and the problem was a limited access to mental health services and stigmas around traditional therapy. In addition, there's a large shortage of human therapists to the ratio of individuals that need services at this moment. So, I wanted to address user needs of getting quick and affordable mental health guidance on demand. So, we came up with Therapy2Go. The vision is to revolutionize mental health care by offering on demand AI driven therapy for community members at an accessible people pod location. The short term benefits would be users could immediately gain access to personalized coping strategies, mindfulness exercises, as well as progress tracking tools. They're able to engage in quick, guided therapy sessions that fit into their daily routines without needing to schedule appointments. The innovation that takes place is Therapy2Go integrates professionally modeled psychologically emotional help through the form of holographic mentors that serve as therapists to provide real time support. So imagine walking into a pod and you're there met by your holographic mentor, and you're able to connect with one another and debrief on your innermost needs. The long term impact would be over time, Therapy2Go can help users build healthier mental habits, reduce stress, and overall emotional well being. This would make mental healthcare more accessible to all people and contribute to a society where self-care is a common norm, not a luxury. The global impact could be that not only is this going to help out the city of Corvallis by uplifting its community members, the bigger picture is that People Pod services can ultimately be globalized and located not only all over the US, but all over the world. So the glue. I conducted user research of 20 plus, it was 23 interviews with potential users. And my findings from these unstructured interviews were long wait times, cost barriers, and the stigmas of face to face interactions with real life human therapists were large barriers that stood in the way of people gaining mental health care. Social anxiety was a huge aspect as well, as mentioned by 10.9% of my interviewees, that they were honestly a little bit too nervous to actually put all of their personal business on the line and speak to another human about this. And that kind of goes hand in hand with confidentiality. A lot of times, usually those that are older tend to not want to confide into another person. However, with the barrier of creating getting mental health services from another human is alleviated through a holographic mentor that is emulating the real traditional approach to therapy. This would be able to bridge that gap. So, Naomi, a 26-year-old marketer, said, I don't always feel comfortable reaching out to a real therapist, but having something like this in a private space would make it a lot easier to start. People pods are private section units that people can enter, securely lock, and have a session one on one with their holographic mentor. Sometimes I need someone to talk to in the moment. Waiting weeks for an appointment isn't ideal. This is stated by Eric, who is retired and is seeking mental health services, however, cannot access them due to a long standing appointment wait time. Next up, we have a student named Ethan, who's 22, who states, if AI can actually understand my emotions and adapt, that would be a game changer. And this is huge. This is the future. And I'm sure that Ethan has an open mindset to interacting with AI-driven therapy. And from our conversation, he has hope and a little bit of skepticism. Up next, we have Talia, who is a professional therapist of 12 years. She states, a holographic mentor could help with accessibility and reducing stigma, but it must be designed carefully to avoid misinterpretations of emotions. So we'll get into our challenges a little bit later, but it looks as though Talia is addressing a challenge here. How will this service work? Affordable and accessible mental health care will be at the fingertips of all members who have a subscription. This is personalized 24/7 mental health support. These pods will be open at all times, and you just need to find a location closest to you that is not being occupied at the moment, and your app would be able to tell you that, and gain your access to mental health support. Health insurance is not required. This was another big barrier that those that I interviewed mentioned. Anonymity and privacy first approach. So making sure that everyone's data is encrypted and cannot be accessed by anyone else is a huge security factor that the Therapy2Go takes into account. And in order to ensure this, there is eye scanning as well as voice recognition so that one cannot duplicate another person and gain access to their mental health support. And integrated self-help tools and guided exercises will all be at the hands of the user within their mobile app that is connected to their virtual mentor. The idea. So these are one-on-one sessions with your holographic mentor in a private setting that curates a safe and secure space to address one's personal needs. The habit tracking is implemented as a resourceful tool for users to carry on what was discussed within their session and able to further implement that into their lifestyles. As for the real life feeling of the mentor interaction, this is where the AI, specialized AI, is able to work its magic and create that real one-on-one experience with the mentor as well as the user, and overall an uplifted community within Corvallis. So this is a high fidelity wireframe mock-up of what it would look like to start interacting with this interface and with this app. Within the mobile app, we are going to have smart emotional tracking insights. This was an implementation that took place after meeting with my users as are my potential users within the interviews, as they had mentioned they wanted to make sure that there was an ability to see their progress, not just how they can build new habits, but how their moods had been affected throughout the start of their sessions to the end. All right, then there will be features to communicate with their AI therapist when not at a people pod location. So there will be a chatbot feature. There will be goal setting and habit tracking. And that differs from emotional tracking because the emotional tracking will be how things have happened in the past, and the habit tracking is what habits are going to take place and implemented in the future during their success plan. Interactive coping exercises and mindfulness practices. Crisis support and emergency assistance. This is huge. So, in case of intervention is needed, the AI has the ability to call our stakeholders that will be connected, which are firefighters, police, and EMTs, to come to the rescue if needed, as well as personalized therapy library and a learning hub. So this is where all of their resources will be accessible at their fingertips once they return from being at their People Pod session with their holographic mentor. So, the values and impact of this service where customers will have that instant support and they will not need to wait for appointments. Stakeholders will, such as traditional therapists, will no longer have that overwhelming influx of individuals that need support and be able to take some of that emotional burden that they experience as they help people through their emotional needs. For the ecosystem seamlessly, these people pods will be able to integrate within society and support 15-minute cities, therefore improving their overall community. And for society as a whole, this truly destigmatizes mental health. If people pods are accessible quite easily, then knowing and going creates less of a stigma of, oh, I don't know if I should talk to somebody. It's just a normalized, regular habit within society. Um, and it also reduces those barriers to access to the support, such as lack of health insurance. And it truly does promote tech driven innovation. So, this is the future, and it shows the potential of what we're able to do. So, who did we engage with and what did we learn? I was able to interview with a licensed therapist and potential users. The key insights I gained from my interviews were potential users valued immediate access to support in a private, secure space. Another key insight was that the holographic mentors must be empathetic and capable of recognizing emotional nuances. So that's a huge thing that kind of leads into my last point. But touching before that, trust and credibility from their mentor. The users want to ensure that the insights and the help that they're gaining is credible and trustworthy, that they're not going to be led into the wrong direction. As for adaptive conversation flows, as mentioned earlier, this goes hand in hand with recognizing emotional nuances. They want to make sure that the experience is seamless. So when they are interacting with their holographic mentor, there won't be lapse in conversations, speaking over one another, miscommunication, or the inability to have that emotional raw connection with one to another. And as we integrate into the future state, this is what AI has the potential to do. So now taking a look at the service blueprint, we can see at the top our time estimates for our customer journey is going to be starting with the user having that initial awareness, which is the user can see an ad, then social media content, or hear about a recommendation. They then would register for an account with their email or phone number, and this would take roughly 5 to 20 minutes, depending on the user. They would be able to access this sign up from either the website, mobile app, or a QR code that is located at any People Pod kiosk. Up next, we are looking at people engaging with the AI therapy, guided exercises, and progress tracking, and that would take place with visits to the nearest People Pod location and interactions with their holographic mentor. We then go into building healthy emotional resilience through habit tracking and customized plans, and leading to user transitions with and transitions out with resources. So the technology is our AI chatbots are able to provide onboarding experience, guidance, and through and through personalized dashboards with emotional wellness tracking would be able to ultimately help users interact with the service. In addition, push notifications and text updates will be provided to the users to set up appointments and as quick reminders. Um, The internal operations taking place are partnerships with mental health organizations for credibility and expanded services. And this connects to our first point in the customer journey, which is that marketing, that touch point, that initial awareness. So, yeah, partnerships would be quite helpful. Then moving over to the second point in internal operations, data analysis tracks usage for service implementation. This connects to our third point of technology of personalized dashboards for emotional wellness tracking. Those go hand in hand because in order to have that personalized wellness tracking that is specific to each and every individual, data analytics need to take place with high precision to constantly make service improvements to make sure that their personalization is up to date. Alrighty. And then going down to support process, we'll have automated marketing and engagement. This connects to our awareness touch point, as well as secure payment methods for system subscriptions. So users are able to register and have secure payment, and that would be nothing to worry about. Our cloud-based AI therapy platform is able to keep all the users' information in a secure database. Um, and this ultimately aligns with our internal operations. Third point of AI model analyzes user interactions and refines mental health plan suggestions. So with that cloud base, they are able to update and refine the mental health plans and create better suggestions. And going further up that arrow to the third point of technology, it connects with our personalized dashboard. And if we go up to our customer journey, this truly all full circles back to engaging with the AI therapy, guided exercises and progress tracking. Um, all of that data will be stored within the cloud based AI therapy platform. And lastly, on the support process, we have compliance with data protection and mental health regulations. So, this is a huge thing. As mentioned, we want to make sure that we are giving users the most update and credible support. With that, our stakeholders include having mental health professionals that work with our AI technicians to truly make sure that it aligns properly with health regulations and all of the above. Um, all right, moving forward. This is a quick relook at our customer map journey. This is Evan. He struggles to find time for therapy due to a demanding job and frequent travel. He sees an ad for Therapy2Go on LinkedIn. He reads a blog about accessible mental health services for busy professionals. He then registers for a membership via the iOS app. He watches an intro video to get accustomed to how Therapy2Go works. He then takes an assessment to gauge wellness necessities. He receives personalized coping strategies based on his personal stress levels. He then uses the AI consultant during lunch breaks, tracks emotional well being progress through habit tracking. He sets a long term goals setting features for mental well being. He participates in guided wellness workshops. Then, furthermore, in the development stage, he engages with his holographic mentor. As he wraps up, he completes therapy goals and he pauses his membership. He leaves a positive testimonial review on the service and receives follow up emails and completes a wellness check in. So, as mentioned for the timeline, this could take roughly from the usage to the developmental through the leave period, 6 months to a year. We anticipate that users will be able to get the help that they need in 6 months to a year. And this is not a set timeline. However, that is our goal for this service. All right, taking a look into the business campus model, our key partners are licensed therapists, mental health professionals, AI tech developers, healthcare and research institutes, and government and nonprofit mental health initiatives. Our key activities taking place are therapy development and improvement, marketing campaigns, platform maintenance, cybersecurity, UX and data analytics, partnerships with mental health professionals to ensure that our data is aligned with industry standards. As for our value proposition, affordable and accessible mental health support is key and number one. However, none of these are in a list ranked on importance. Next up, we have personalized 24/7 mental health support. Health insurance is not required, so that's a huge value for users. Anonymity and privacy first approach and integrated self-help tools. Our customer relations would be with their holographic mentor that replaces traditional therapy, community forums and peer support, customer service via chat, email, or phone, and periodic wellness check-ins and the subscription-based premium models. Next up for our consumer segments, we are looking for young professionals, students struggling with stress, any individual with limited access to traditional modes of therapy, people seeking anonymous mental health support, corporate well-being programs, neurodivergent individuals, and that kind of aligns with those that have stigmas around meeting face to face with those with another individual to talk about their personal needs. And our key resources are AI powered modeled, our secure data storage, compliance with mental health experts, customer support infrastructures, marketing and community outreach strategies. Our channels are going to take place on mobile app and website. People are able to access the Therapy2Go kiosks, which are known as people pods, in all public areas where one is accessible. Partnerships with mental health providers and workplace wellness programs. So now looking at our cost structure, AI development and maintenance will be one of our main costs. Data security and compliance, another cost. Marketing and consumer acquisition expenses, and that's important so we can spread the word and make sure people know about Therapy2Go. Employee salaries, partnership and licensing fees. And our streams of revenue will take place in our monthly subscriptions. There will be freemiums and premium plans, corporate wellness partnerships, insurance healthcare collaborations, and one-time therapy session purchases if one does not want to commit to a month of Therapy2Go. This is another look at our value proposition as well as stakeholder map, addressing gain creators, pain relievers, products and services. Our gains, our pains, and the jobs to be done. Our limitations. So Therapy2Go could have some limitations, and this would be the trust and adoption of holographic mentoring opposed to traditional therapy. Since this is something that has not been done before, there might be a little bit of skepticism, but trust and adoption is a process that takes time. Ethical concerns, data and privacy storage. There are always those that look that are able to have concerns around cybersecurity. So, with that, it is of utmost and highest importance that we do have an encrypted database that keeps everyone's private information. And the last limitation is the over reliance on AI. People might start going to AI for everything, and although that this is a tool, we just need to make sure that it's used and balanced, and people do seek out other human interactions when they are feeling the need to gain support. Because the goal of Therapy2Go AI is to help people alleviate emotions, but not to eliminate human interaction. Our future opportunities are the ability to have holographic mentors in home. This would be very helpful for people that have accessibility issues. Um, Wearable integrations. So this could be your holographic AI mentor popping up on your wristwatch, and cultural adaptations and multilingual interfaces. So, with cultural nuances, we would love for this service to not cater just to those that are traditionally American or here in the US. However, here in the US, we have various amounts of culture, so just making sure it can pick up on different types of cultural nuances. And then multilingual. We will be starting off with English, Spanish, French, and Italian, and Chinese. However, other than that, there are various other languages that AI will need to catch up and be able to adapt to. Thank you so much. Accessibility and mental health service, health support anytime, anywhere. Once again, I'm Erica Nyarko. Thank you for listening.